Have you ever wished your children or grandchildren could hear the stories behind your family photos in your own voice? Or that the letters you're writing today could be read aloud to loved ones years from now? These precious moments, our stories, our wisdom, our laughter, they deserve to be preserved, not just in writing, but in the warmth of our own voices. Today I'm going to show you how the VoiceGift Play device can help you create something truly extraordinary, a legacy that speaks. When we think about leaving a legacy, we often face a few challenges. First, written words can only capture so much. The inflection in your voice when you tell a funny story, the emotion when you share advice, the warmth when you say, "I love you," that gets lost. Second, traditional voice recordings are often disconnected from the items that they're describing. You might record stories, but how do future generations know which photo or which letter connects to that recording? And the third issue is that many digital solutions are complicated, require apps, internet, or might not work 10, 20, or 50 years from now. The Play does solve all these problems with a beautiful, simple system. So let me show you what makes the Play special for legacy work. The Play is a voice recorder that can store up to 999 separate recordings. That's up to 10 hours of audio total. Think of it as giving you 999 opportunities to share your voice with the future. Here's the brilliant part. Instead of scrolling through files or using complicated apps, you simply assign each recording a number, anything from 1 to 999. You record your message, write that number on a sticky note, in a book, on a sticker, on the back of the photo, or anywhere you want. And when someone enters that number and then presses play, they hear your voice telling that specific story. So no apps, no internet, no batteries to replace. Just simple, beautiful connection between your voice and your memories. So let me show you the first way I love using the Play. Bringing legacy letters to life. I've started writing letters to my daughter. So these letters contain advice, family stories, I don't know, things I want her to know about who she is and where she comes from. But here's the thing. I want her to hear these in my voice, not just read them on paper. So step 1, recording your letter. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that your Play device is fully charged. When I did it, I think it took about 3 hours. So it comes with a charging cord, and that simply goes into the top of the device. And then you want to charge it. Just plug it into your computer, your desktop, or your laptop, and in about 3 hours it will be fully charged and the light on the top here will turn orange. So the first thing I need to do when I'm ready to record is to go to the side of this device, and we have play and record. I am going to flip that button over to record, and I hear the beep, so I know I have moved it. Then I need to choose what number I want this recording to be. So I'm going to go with, say, 33. Okay, and then I need to go down here and press this button with 2 lines and the arrow going forward. Now you'll see there's a blue light showing up, and that means that I am now already recording. Okay, so then you would read your letter. My dearest daughter, you are an amazing kid with a wonderful mother, and I hope you love that. I'm just kidding. This is just a test here. Okay, so now that I've finished my recording, I'm going to go ahead and press that same button with the 2 lines and the arrow going forward again. And I hear the beep, so I am done. And also the blue LED light is off now. So the recording is finished. And if I want to record more, I would just simply pick another number and do the same thing. So I will pick number 12. And the arrow forward. Blue light's on, I am recording. This is a test, this is a test. Recording's done. Press the arrow. Okay, so I've written play 25 on my little sticker. I will now put that at the top of my letter. And now that indicates to anyone who's looking at this that this is the recording number that is linked to this letter. And there's my voice forever connected to this letter. So years from now, my daughter comes across this letter and it's got the number 25 sitting on the top corner of it, right? So she looks at that and she says, oh, I want to hear that. So she goes back to the play device, which is attached to the book. I'll show you that later. And she turns it from record back to play. Now all she has to do is choose the number. Oh God, I can't even remember what it did. I think the first one was 33. And play. Now you'll see there's a blue light showing up, and that means that I am now already recording, okay? So then you would read your letter. Stop. So yes, it's just pressing the number and the play button to start it or to stop it. Okay. Now the second way you can use play is with photos and guided autobiography stories. So I'm working my way through many guided autobiography stories that I've been writing. And if you don't know what guided autobiography is, you can learn more about that in the description below of this video. So instead of just writing these stories down, I'm recording them. And if I have a photo to connect with it, some of them I do, then I will make sure that that is labeled too. Okay, so with my guided autobiography stories, I have put them into a magazine. And so I have both photos and stories within here. So what I can do with the play device is that I can read the story that I have written up. And then I can either, again, not everyone has the magazine set up. So if you don't, if it's a scrapbook or even just loose photos, you could put a sticker on both the back of the photo as well as the actual written story that you have from your guided autobiography class. And that way they'll know, regardless of whether they're looking at the photo or whether they're looking at the actual story, they will have it recorded. So they'll know that they're matching up. So I'm using number 14 for this photo. And here, I'll just put the sticker right beside the photo. Here. There we go. And I'll put the sticker right next to the photo or the story or both so that they can go back and know which stories or photos are attached to that. Now, written descriptions alone in photo albums are helpful, and captions and stuff like that, but they're usually brief with just like a name or a date or something. But with play, you can tell the whole story, right? The funny parts, the scary parts, the lessons you learned, so that they're going to get context from the story in the photo. In the future, they'll be able to get to know me as a real full person instead of just something that was on paper, I guess, the way I see it. So I go through each photo or each story, assign a number to it, and mark it. And when I'm done, this album isn't just pictures, it's stories, and it's a guided journey narrated by me. So the third use that I want to show you is perfect if you have, say, young grandchildren or even young children yourself if you tend to have to travel or something like that. Maybe you live far away from a family member and you want them to think about you even though you're not going to be able to be there in person. So this lets your voice be there when you can't. I've started thinking about doing a series of storybooks for when my kid starts having kids. So you continue doing the same thing, recording each story. And again, you've got 10 hours on here, so you could do many books, right? And you can do your fun voices, make it enjoyable for them, right? And the really cool thing is that afterwards, what you can do is you just take this little clip and you hook it into there. And then you simply, there we go. You just clip it on to the book. And so it can stay with a series of books, and each book could have a sticker on it showing what number it is, so that even the grandchildren could sit there, press the number that's on the book, and listen to you read the story to them. Now, personally, I think that is absolutely awesome. You could even add a little message at the end, like, "Sweet dreams, my love." Now, that's not just a recording. That's a presence across time. Oh, and I almost forgot, it also has headset jack so that you can listen to the stories without bothering anybody else, which is great. So let me share a few practical things that make this play really great for legacy work. The first thing is that you can back up your recordings. So you just plug it in and it will show up like a USB drive. There we go. So as you can see, this is just like any other USB drive, right? I had 5 other previous recordings on here, and then what you saw me do was a recording number 12 and a recording for number 33 that are also on here. Now, just like any other USB drive, you can drag and drop onto or pulling recordings off of here as well. So you could do a bunch of recordings and then organize them how you saw fit on here as well. If you wanted to take something off, easy peasy. So if I wanted to add another audio onto here, I could simply do that by dragging and dropping it onto this drive. So let's see what I got here. Let's see. So I'm going to drag this one, our words and our stories, and I'm going to put that onto here. Okay. It's going to take a second here. Okay. And now if I want to be able to play it, obviously it's going to need a number, right? Instead of a title. So I can simply go in here now and right click, rename it. And I will rename it as, let's go, what have I got? 007. Okay. Just want to make sure I know what that is.
Our word centers.
Okay. So I know that is now on there. And then I will show you once I unplug it, how we can hear it on here. Now, another option you have is to make a backup, right? So I'll show you how to do this, just like you would with any other USB, right? You want to go onto your desktop or wherever you're keeping this backup, and you want to create a folder. Okay, I'm going to call this folder the Play Backup. Okay. And then I'm going to go back one layer to the USB drive, and I am going to take this and I am going to copy, go into my backup folder and paste. Copy and paste. And then that will leave you with a copy of whatever you have on your Play, also on your computer. So that if there's for some reason an accident that you accidentally recorded over something, you can go back and fix that on your computer, just dragging and dropping it back onto there, and just giving it a new number. And as a photo manager, I can tell you, you always want to have a backup because you never know when you're going to make a mistake sometimes. So definitely create a backup somewhere, whether it's on another USB drive or on your desktop, whatever works for you is fine. But these are really precious memories, right? You don't want to lose them. So cover your butt. So when it's fully charged, oh, I don't know if you can see from here, the red light is on. There we go. Now on a full charge, you can get about 2.5 to 5 hours of continuous playback. So you can listen to it for 2.5 to 5 hours, even though there's 10 hours on here. Then you would have to charge it again to finish up. But 2.5 to 5 hours is pretty impressive, I think. I would also suggest keeping a simple log, numbers, 1 to 50 or whatever, however many numbers you have, so that you can keep track of what is on there separately if you'd like. That way you're not accidentally using a number again and recording over something that's really precious. Oh, one tip, you don't need to be holding it like right at your mouth if you're recording, okay? So 12 to 18 inches away will capture it in a more natural audio tone. So you can do a test recording first to find out what works for you. Now these recordings live on this device, so not on an app, not an account, not in a cloud service, which although you may have made a backup already, as I showed you. Here's what I want you to understand. We often talk about legacy in terms of what we leave behind, right? So money and property and heirlooms. But as far as I'm concerned, the most valuable thing we can leave is ourselves. So our voices, our stories, our laughter. And the play makes it really simple to weave your voice through your legacy projects. It doesn't require your loved ones to be tech savvy. It doesn't require internet or apps. It just requires a simple number and the press of a button. So the number and play. And so this is how your great-great-grandchildren, people that you might never actually meet, might be able to hear your voice telling the story of who they are and where they came from. So if this resonates with you, here's what I recommend. Start small, pick 5 significant photos or stories or letters, whatever it is that you prefer, and record those stories. See how it feels, then expand to your photo albums, your recipe cards, family stories, the guided autobiography class that you took and you have all these stories written down. So the play will give you 999 opportunities to speak to the future. Don't wait for someday. Your voice matters. Your stories matter. Let them be heard. Now I've put the link to the VoiceGift play in the description. I'm not an affiliate. I just think it's a really great option for legacy work. So thanks for watching, and I wish you joy in creating your legacy. If you found this valuable, then subscribe below for more videos.